Marvel Legends, X-Men, Chode Wave, Cyclops. Let's get it. What's good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again. Another action figure review, courtesy of Hasbro Marvel Legends. We've got the X-Men, the Chode Build-A-Figure Wave, and we have got the perennial leader of the X-Men, talking about Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, in his astonishing costume. Yes, indeed, and more importantly, on the Vulcan body. Second go round, we get him in the Vulcan body, which is good. We get loads of Cyclops figures. We've been getting, we've got plenty. He's got almost as many figures out there as Wolverine, and that's saying a lot right there. But they were always on the Bucky Cap body mold, and of course that got tiresome, and we finally got Cyclops in a new mold. We got him on the Vulcan body mold, which is appropriate considering that Vulcan is Gabriel Summers, his brother, his youngest brother, and they share the same body mold, so turned out to be a good thing. We got the first iteration in the VHS series. It was a cell shaded Jim Lee style Cyclops, and now here we go with the Astonishing costume, and it's looking pretty good. We'll get into it in a minute. Talking about that packaging, we've got the digital render of Psych on the cover. Behind him, we have some artwork. We've got more artwork on one side, digital render of Chode, the Build-A-Figure, on the other, also showing the figures needed to build Chode. We've got Emma Frost, you've got Fang, you've got Monet St. Croix, whom we've already reviewed. You also have Starjammer Corsair. You've got Kid Omega and Chamber. You don't see Sykes' name on there. That's because he does not come with the Build-A-Figure piece. X logo at the top. And on the rear, we have another digital render of Cyclops along with his accessories as they are. Once again, just another set of hands. That's all we get. No effects to demonstrate his power set, with the exception of that will-o'-the-wisp of energy that you see coming from the left side of his visor. So now we can take a good look at Cyclops in his astonishing costume. You see that the figure is molded in a very rich blue color. He's got gold highlights which look very good, not plastic-like. They look excellent. Now, speaking of looking plastic-like, he does have a gold belt that's molded in gold, and that looks plastic. And his wrist gauntlets, they are also molded in gold, and they look very plastic-like. But the striping going on the sides of his torso, down his thighs, and going to the interior, that looks great, and it's in the back too. It's just nice, very nice that the gold is looking nice. He also has some gold, I believe that's molded though, plastic at the top of his calves, and it's definitely plastic down there at the bottom, at the top of his ankles, and they look plasticky. So we're talking it's inconsistent, and it is what it is. But we will take a closer look at the whole thing, so we'll check out the head sculpt, and we'll check out those gold highlights. Taking a nice close look at that head sculpt there. Once again, the digital printing has done its job. It's looking real nice. All we get for the face of Cyclops is the part that the mask isn't covering, meaning his nose and his mouth and cheeks and things of that nature. But what little we can see of his face definitely looks very nice. You know what time it is. Got to play the The angle roll, as you can see, looking pretty good. He's got that grim look, which Cyclops is known for sure. Try to get a nice profile look right there. And same for his left side. It's looking pretty cool. Taking a look at the rest of him, he's got the visor. It's molded in a bluish type of silver, pretty nice. And of course, the ruby quartz color is red going across the visor part. And there's that whiff of energy, fluorescent style red there. So pretty simple. Taking a better look at the full figure there, we'll point out those highlights. You could see how nice and golden they are. They should translate well in the high definition that we're recording this in. You see it goes all the way down into his inner thigh on both sides there. It's looking very nice. If you turn him to the back, you see that this time Hasbro didn't cheap out on us. So we still have that gold going right down there. Of course, around the waist we have the downside, the cons to our little gold situation here. The belt molded in a gold plastic and is looking every bit as plastic as it is. We've got the X logo. It's got some paint in the gaps that separate the X from the rest of the emblem. And then, of course, you've got the gauntlets and the straps that are down by the ankles and the at the top of the calves. And these are definitely sculpted, and they're painted gold. So pretty cool. Lest I forget, and trust and believe, with only a set of hands as his accessories, it's easy to forget. This is all he comes with. He's got the right grasping hand and a left. Well, this is for striking his visor. For when he actually uses his fingers to engage his visor. He doesn't really need that. He's got a supposed to be like some sort of button or clicker in the palm of his hand or hands, from what I gather from in the past. But this is all we get. Yep, no power effects, no nothing else, no additional head sculpt showing him gritting his teeth or anything. This is it. So we'll go over the articulation now. He's on the Vulcan body, so that's a plus right there. His head is on a ball hinge, so he can look up that far, very nice. He can look down, very, very nice. He can, of course, rotate 360 and be very careful because that wisp of energy, you can easily snap that, so keep that in mind. You're not going to get, his head is on pretty tight, so you're not going to get any attitude, no pivoting. He's got butterfly joints, so he can draw back like that, and he can definitely close his arms very nicely, so that's cool. He can T-pose it, so 90 degrees that way. He can 360 it. He's got the bicep joint, double jointed elbows, pinless, I might add. This is the Vulcan body, so we do rock that. He's got the swiveling wrists and the horizontal hinge. That goes for both his fists and the additional hands as well. They're also horizontally hinged. He's got an ab crunch, so he can go forward that far. He can go back way far, back breaker. He can do this. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. How about the waist swivel? There we go. He can do the splits that far. He can kick 90, go back decently. He's got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinless knees. See how tight these are. And it is tight. Can I get the other one to go? Don't want to mess around. There it is. It's going. So, yep, double jointed pinless knees. Gotta love that. He's got boot swivel right there at the top of the boot. and point his toe forward that far and up that far. Ankle pivot, holes, peg holes at the bottom of his feet. This isn't the first time we've gotten Cyclops in this costume, though it is the best time. We originally saw this version of Cyclops, the Astonishing costume version, back in 2007. This was Hasbro, and it was from the Brood Queen Build-A-Figure wave. And you can see that Hasbro has come a long way. Here we have our Astonishing Cyclops side by side with a pair of Jim Lee version Cyclops. On our left, his right, we've got our first Jim Lee Cyclops. This was on the Bucky Cap body mold, the continuation of the Bucky. There were several iterations of the Bucky Cap body prior to this version. And then on our right, we have the cell shaded version from the VHS series. And I stand corrected. Our Astonishing is not on the Vulcan body. As you can no doubt see, just looking at the lens, you can see that our VHS version is beefier and bigger. This Cyclops is basically an all-new sculpt when you think about it. Upon closer inspection, I'm looking at the butterfly joints, where the joints meet the chest. That's cut differently than on the Vulcan body, and obviously you can see that the arms on the VHS Cyclops are bigger, as well as the legs. He's a lot beefier, and he's taller too. But it's not the Bucky Cap body. I can tell you that right now. Those lines with the gold, they're sculpted in, so that's different. It's an all-new sculpt. So there we have it right there. And here we have our three Summers brothers right there. On our left, we have got Havoc in his classic costume, blazing those energy effects. And then on our right, we have the youngest brother, Gabriel, and quite possibly the most powerful of the three brothers. We've got Vulcan, Gabriel Summers, aka Vulcan, and I've got him sporting a third-party effect there. I've told you guys before, got to have third-party effects to enhance figures. And finally, we've got the three previous figures that I've reviewed from this wave. On our left, we've got Emma Frost, aka the White Queen. On our right, we've got Fang of the Imperial Guard. And right in the rear, we have got Monet Saint Croix, aka M. So to close this out, you can see I've got third-party effects going on right here, since we did not get any optic blasts. And this is a quick attempt. It's very difficult to do. This blast wasn't meant for this particular visor, but I fudged it with some sticky tack, which I very sloppily applied, and so that's coming through in the high definition resolution there. But with work, you can try to get it to you fudge it a little bit to get what you want. Anyhow, as far as the figure's concerned, it's an excellent figure. The sculpting is just top notch. The gold paint is great. I wish that they could have done a little bit better with the plastic parts, the gold plastic parts. Maybe painted those the same color gold to make it look more consistent. Very nice. It's unfortunate as far as the effects, not the effects. We got no effects. The accessories are concerned. The ongoing MO is just a set of extra hands with Marvel Legends. It would have been nice to get an expressive head sculpt, gritting teeth, yelling, something like that. And it definitely would have been on point to have gotten bona fide optic blasts for this guy. But we did not. We got what we got. So you have to do what I do and get third-party effects. And that's how it's done.